My name is Janet Down. This year I am coordinating the Ansley contribution to the National Garden Scheme 2020. Unfortunately, due to the COVID virus, the 6 gardens that were supposed to take part haven't been able to. Only 2 gardens are able to open on the 28th of June from 10 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You do have to book online on the National Garden Scheme website, and the 2 gardens are One Park Cottages and the Old Police House, number 66 Birmingham Road. We'd love you to join us if you'd like to. However, the other gardens are absolutely beautiful, and we really wanted to celebrate those gardeners who've worked so hard this year. So we've put this video together for you to enjoy in your own home, and perhaps this might encourage you to think about whether you would like to join in and contribute your garden towards an open garden in 2021. Ancient roses nestling with clematis and a vine. Been here probably as long as the house has, which is over 100 years. And then we've got some English geraniums. This is an early rose, absolutely beautiful, comes out so prolific, and if I'm very good at deadheading, then we have a lovely second show as well. And then out the back here, this is much more of a country garden, and this is in our mauve period, and we do have some beautiful roses, very ancient roses, can't take the credit for those. And then over here we have alliums, and I have a hydrangea that's a pink hydrangea, and aquilegia. This is a water feature that my husband created during lockdown. He had a month on furlough and he created it with Cumbrian stone, and we've got a pump at the top, a sump at the bottom, and it flows a stream all the way down, and we planted out alpines around it and roses, various different perennial plants, and it ends up in a little rock garden now, and the rest of the garden has roses, lupins, irises that have gone, and some English geraniums, some red hot pokers, which are my husband's favourite. And this goes round to a slightly African themed garden, leading to our tiki hut.
Morning, my name is Adrian Milgrove. Live in Ansley Village, North Warwickshire, and we've lived at this house for 35 years and created the garden from the field. There was nothing here. These are old-fashioned musk roses which are now over, but they were beautiful and do smell beautiful. And clematis that actually come through the front garden, from the front garden. This Photinia, variegated form. There's some roses at the back as well, which are part of the hedge. And these tall trees are actually abutilons, hardy abutilons. That's a pink one just about to come out. It's nice. These aren't out; they were out wide in the sun a couple of days ago. That's the yellow version, white version, and there's a pink one just coming there. That's 30 foot for 12 foot for 4 foot deep. That's a golden ceanothus, which has been covered in blue flowers. And an amarantia tree here which flowers February. And this is the sunken garden, which we created with several tons of gravel many years ago, 30 years ago. All different, there are lots of different types of geranium. They're all hardy geraniums, lots of different types. And they're just a sweet pea, canes I just put up. There's sweet peas that were left over from the main lot. This blue eyes, which smells beautiful, that row.
My name's Hilary Ward. I live here with Mike, my husband. The house was the old police house in Ansley. We don't actually know very much about what it looked like originally, but a very large extension, 2-storey extension, was put on the back before we bought it. But the garden was just a field when we came. There was absolutely nothing, not a single plant. So the garden has been developed over the 5 years that we've been here, and it's shrubs and herbaceous plants mainly. This is my very favourite clematis. Unfortunately, again, nearly finished, but it's a really beautiful one. Mrs. N. Thompson, I've got 2 of those. The lark ascending rose here, a David Austin rose, one of my favourite roses, if not my all-time favourites. I've put a few clematis in to cover the fence, so they only have gone in this year, hence they're very small still. But this one is called Ansley, and so next year hopefully they'll have grown up a bit and be covering more of the fence. This one is Sally Holmes, which just is such good value. It just keeps flowering and flowering and flowering. This rose is Shropshire Lad, and the clematis is Ernest Markham. And this is a Phyllis Bide patio rose, which again is very prolific, goes on flowering for ages. And up this end, under the trees, lots of hostas and sedums. Welcome to our garden. This is what we call our haven. It's small, very intimate garden, but I think as you have a look around it, you'll find that it's absolutely packed with stuff. We've managed to get tomatoes going, some beetroots, and our strawberries are coming on. We've left one on there. We were going to pick it this morning, but we thought we'd leave that so that you can see it when you're doing a tour of the garden. And as you can see, we sit out here quite a lot. The sun moves down the garden during the day, so we usually have breakfast and lunch here when it's nice days. We move up to the next level to give us a view over the garden, and then we take these chairs further up the garden and sit and just watch the afternoon sun. So the shame that we've had with all the rain is that a lot of stuff, the roses in particular, some of them have gone over, but there are still loads of them to come out yet. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to see a sense of you can do gardening in a very small space. You can pack it with as much stuff as you like. We don't have a particular plan. We just plant all the stuff that we like and see if it goes there. If it doesn't work, then we'll perhaps move it somewhere else, or just we get used to it. We've got some beautiful honeysuckle over here, so in the evening when we come out, the smell, the scents are absolutely beautiful.
So we had actually planned that bit, putting the honeysuckle on both sides of the garden. So we have it here, we have it on the other side. So as you sort of come out in the evenings, and then we've got quite a lot of clematis that are sort of growing up, going towards the kitchen window. We're just waiting for those to come into flower. We have our grapevine, and this year we're lucky enough to have, we haven't been able to chop that much because we've got some blackbirds that are nesting, and at the moment there are 4 eggs in the nest waiting to hatch. So we're very excited about that, but obviously we wouldn't want to disturb them. The Canterbury bells are particularly nice, and I do deadhead those quite frequently.
Good morning, my name is Heather and this is my husband Roger. We've been here for 44 years in the village, and this is the first time that we are actually opening for the National Garden Scheme.
Heather has come to gardening very late. She really wasn't interested. Neither of us were particularly interested. We've been here 40 years, as she said, but recently, the last 2 or 3 years, she's started enjoying getting out of the garden. We haven't done a great deal down here, no doubt she'll be saying get rid of those shrubs, which I had to do on the other side of the garden. I had to move them. So this side of the garden hasn't got a great deal of attention. James Greaves apple. Well, this has been the part of the garden that Heather's concentrated on. This used to have lots of shrubs like the other side, Lazy Man's garden. They all had to come out, and many trips to garden centres. One week we visited 8.
And you're labelling all your plants, Heather?
I'm trying to, yes, as I remember them. Unfortunately, quite a few labels blew away, and so I am struggling to find the names, but I am going to garden centres and looking and finding out the names gradually and putting the labels down.
So this is Pete and Joan McParland's garden in Ansley, and as we walk in we see the mallow, which is absolutely glorious.